Hello everyone, thank you for joining me tonight. This is Yusuf Chowdhury, digital marketing coach in San Antonio, Texas. How y'all doing tonight? Thank you for joining. Thank you. All right, let's see. All right, cool. Thank you, Cynthia. How are you? How all doing tonight? Let me just relax here. What's going on? Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Let me go ahead and get ready. All right, just good evening, James. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Show me your neck. No. I think I've some. Maybe I was playing with the markers. Bobby fooled you. Eddie, how are you? How you doing, man? Good to see you, Eddie. Good to see you. Good to see you, Eddie. I like your glasses, nerd. Indeed, me too. Thank you. All right, so just a quick reminder: if you missed my previous scope, because what I'm doing is what's going on, brother Eddie? Good to see you, man. Is I'm doing a basic. You're cool too, Preston Hawkins. Okay, a supervisor commander. Oh, okay, cool. All right. So before I start, I just want to kind of quickly remind you all that I started last week doing a basic series on SEO. So I'm going from really basic all the way to something like maybe a little bit advanced. So I want to make sure that you all understand. So if you missed it, please go to catch.me/yusufchowdhury. Okay? So once you go to catch.me/yusufchowdhury, you can check some of the episode, the series that we made. Right here. Part 1, what is SEO? Thanks, man. Then part 2 right here, why SEO is so important. Then part 3 right there, over here. And of course, part 4 over here. Okay? So, if you missed it, well, basically what I'm doing based on the request, Preston, is people ask me to do a kind of a basic SEO session. It might last for 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm doing very basic, but going all the way moving forward. I thought your catch was messed up. Cool. I can watch some all the way. Yes, indeed. You can also watch. And the cool thing about Catch right now, it can be posted to Facebook as well. So what I'm doing a series on SEO. We're starting from really basic, then moving all the way up. Okay. So I have a feeling that you probably already know about it. So if you know, good. If you don't, then just kind of very basic. Then we'll move forward. Okay. So what we did on the first session, we talked about what is SEO. SEO stands for selling enormous octopus. I'm just kidding. After that, we talked about the definition of what the 4 functionalities of the search engine bots, like the Yahoo, Google, and Bing. What do they exactly do? Like ranking, crawling, indexing, and what do you call it? The retrieving, right? Then we talked about the definition of what search engine optimization is, the technical and the front, what do you call it, the creative process and the influencing and whatnot. Then we talked about what is the importance of SEO. We also talked about what is on-page SEO and why you need to know them. And today I'm going to talk about quickly on what is off-site SEO or off-page SEO. Again, we're going to keep it very simple and very basic, because if y'all can understand the basic and the simple one, then eventually we're going to move on step by step to something higher. Does that make sense? So let me ask this question real quick. So if you know, some of you right here, if you know what is off-page or off-site SEO is, go ahead and put number 1. If you don't, go ahead and put number 2. How about that? Let's start from there. That's the keyword topic, Cynthia. We'll talk about that later. We still haven't gone there yet, but we'll talk about that later for sure. The long tail keywords. But right now, we're gonna keep everything very basic. And if you missed it, like I said, go back and check number 1, 2, 3, 4, and today's series 5, episode part 5 for today. So if you know what is off-page or off-site SEO, press number 1. If you don't know, if you do know, press number 1. And if you don't know, go ahead and press number 2 on what is off-page. Off-site SEO. So if you know it, number 1. If you don't know it, number 2. So Eddie, you know it. Awesome. Okay, Chad says he doesn't know number 2. Okay, who else? Who else doesn't know what is off-page SEO? I'm sorry, Chad. Okay, James, you already know that. Awesome. Awesome possum. All right, so it looks like half and half. So here's the thing. So let me go ahead. Hey dude, thank you for joining. So let me show you real quick. Yeah, so you can take a snapshot. There you go. So what is off-page SEO? You must ask, and here we go. Let's go ahead and understand the definition a little bit, okay? Because someone debate a little bit, but let's go ahead and talk about it quickly. So the way we define, or some of us, not all of us, agree with the definition. I agree with this definition. So we've been having a lot of clients with that technique. So it's a technique that includes what? It's a process of link building or getting links back to your site from other sources. Okay, so that's number one. Make sure you understand that. Okay, so off-page SEO means what? It means it's a technique that includes the process of link building, getting link from somewhere else, from a third-party sources, right, back to your website. So that's number one. And number two, any activities outside of your web pages or the website. It could be social media, it could be videos, it could be PR. Does that make sense? And the objective of this off-page SEO is what? Somehow to influence, okay? Somehow to influence the search engine to behave on your site in terms of ranking you, getting you more traffic. In fact, if you look at Google Analytics, the traffic section under the acquisition, you will see there are 5 areas of traffic, and Google does, or any search engine like Bing, they do look into links from different sources. They listen to the social media signals. They look at the refer sites, direct link, and organic. Does that make sense? So when it comes to off-page SEO, again, I want you to understand this because previously we talked about what is, SEO, then we define what is on-page SEO, which is everything done technically and creatively on the website. Miss KK, how are you? Thank you for joining. But the off-page, the off-site SEO, that means stuff done outside of the website that has some sort of influence back to your website. It also consists of some type of link building. And of course, all these technique has to be organic. They have to follow the Google's guideline or Bing, because Bing has a little bit of different guideline, but you know what I mean? So that's what is defined by the off-page SEO. So the on-site SEO can be done once after many research. And oh, thank you, Eddie. But for the off-site, this is what it requires a lot of work. You're talking about extreme focus on content, also extreme focus on the social media engagement, focus on putting content on content-based website and getting some sort of exposure. Does that make sense? But the whole definition, you all need to understand the definition. Okay? If you don't know what is the definition of SEO and the on-page SEO, go and check it out. PBN, what is PBN, Cynthia? Okay, I'm sorry. But for this one is off-page, off-site SEO stands for a link building process. It's a process where it's done outside the website. Thank you for joining, client. And for the purpose of influence the page, because even those links that is coming from third-party website or outside website, they have a value too. That means they have to be credible, authority links. They're not spammy. They're not some irrelevant links. Does that make sense? Oh, personal blog networks. That should be a different topic because there's some debate about those sites actually don't actually work. There were some issues. In fact, some of them were actually penalized. If you remember, through Google a couple of years ago. We'll talk about that later, but please make sure you note that for me later on, because again, we're gonna keep this very, very basic. We'll go to there. Not Bilbo Beggins. We'll go to there. Give me a few minutes, but I want all of you to understand. Give me number one now. Give me number one if you understand right now what is off-page SEO or what is off-site SEO. If you understand 100% right now, give me number one. If you don't, give me number two. Okay, awesome. So all of you now understand what is off-site SEO. Perfect. Now, just to let you know, with a lot of updates happening through the search, of course, link building is kind of a little bit challenging. So I'm going to tell you exactly what other technique you can use, because without the off-site SEO, guess what? You're not going to get enough traffic. So the mistake that people do is they only do on-site SEO and they forget. They just leave it like that. That doesn't how it works. You still have to do what we call online promotion, off-site SEO. Digital marketing. We have to do all the other tasks so we can get more exposure, get targeted traffic, and eventually get conversion and get targeted customers and also rank. Because if you don't do offsite SEO, only the onsite, which is only done once, it might take like a year to be on the front page. Does that make sense? But if you do the offsite, it might take maybe 3, 4, or 5 months. You don't have to wait for a year. But in most cases, you're gonna hopefully within several months you'll end up getting all this traffic and conversion. Okay, so there you go. So that's the definition, and I hope you'll understand it. Now, let's talk about what consists in the offsite SEO. Okay, again, I'm not gonna go through detail. Sorry, I'm gonna keep it very basic. We'll talk about the detail later on. Here we go. So when it comes to offsite, what can we do to implement off-page SEO or offsite SEO? We'll talk about building links, right? Like how many links you're getting actually matters. The more link you have, the better. And not just the more link, but the more quality of links also matter. So if I get a link from the New York Times or a local, let's say, well-known newspaper or a higher-ranking site, so if I get a link from them through content-based, that means somebody wrote an article and my business was or my website or my information is mentioned. That's actually good because it's content. It's coming from high authority sites. It's keyword-based anchor text. Somebody write a content for you, and authority and trust, yes. And they write a keyword that push traffic back to your website, or click here, or the link of your website. Those can bring link back to your site. Internal link building mostly is done within your own page SEO. That means it's done on your own website. It is still valuable, but not as effective as offsite SEO. Outbound basically means you're pointing something out from your website, okay? Press release, even though, again, press release might not hold a strong ranking for SEO, because if you look at Matt Cutts and a lot of videos lately, they've been talking about it, but I still use it for a few reasons. I still recommend clients because you get exposure through local media and it stays there forever. So in a way, it kind of helps. Keyword for anchor text, yes, I would say you have to verify. What I mean by that, to diversify, because if you go to tools like SEMrush and Moz, and even on the analytics, like the webmaster tool, it will still tell you what key phrases brought that traffic, right? Organically or through anchor. So I would say anchor, it matters, but don't focus too much on keyword-based anchor text. Make sure that you diversify it. Sometimes you type click here, sometimes the actual link, but don't go heavily on keyword, because that's going to be a red flag, okay? You don't want to do that. Guest blogging, yes, Google did penalize one of those guest blogging websites. If you do it cautiously, and I would recommend maybe once a month or once every 2 months. But if you do a guest blogging, make sure that the content you're putting it somewhere else is highly valuable only to that person, only to that website. And the whole purpose of doing it, not because of link building, even though eventually it's going to work for link building, but you're doing it because you want to get more exposure and help that other community. So it still helps. Web directories, if it's a niche base. So let's say if you're an attorney, if you post it on findlaw.com or law info, because it's a niche base, that can still help. Again, not that strong, but it still can help. Local SEO, we just talked today before this call about the Google business pages and Yelp and what that still help, because you're going to get some sort of link back from those sites back to your main website. Ebook syndication. So there are so many websites out there. If you write an awesome content, like don't write a crappy ebook, but something like really, really cool and good, and submit it to ebook websites. And I'm going to share it with you guys later in the future in this series, what resources and link you can use to submit your awesome ebook, because the ebook can have your list building offer, your link back to your website, because those PDF are clickable, okay? Podcast is also considered a social media platform where you can share awesome content. So people are going to look for your profile, they're going to look for information, or they can listen to your announcing your website. You get some sort of traffic back from that podcasting website, like iTunes or SoundCloud, okay? Document sharing, there's so many document sharing content-based website, like magazines. You can make your own magazines, you can upload your own Word document. Again, the content has to be valuable, because that's what your target market are looking for in those sites. PowerPoint, SlideShare still work. If you create an awesome SlideShare or PowerPoint and upload it to slideshare.net, you can get some link back from the profile section back to your website, because if you're interesting and you offer awesome value, people are going to look for your profile, and from there they're going to click on your link. Does that make sense? Video website, YouTube, and all the video side, that also helps. Infographic, believe it or not, infographics still help. If you have an awesome blog, you can convert that into infographic, and the infographic can come with some sort of embedded feature where people can embedded in several places, and from there you can get some sort of quality link back to your page that is a content versus pushing content to a content page. Okay, so what I mean by that, if you have somebody write an awesome blog for you as a guest blogger, make sure that when they use the anchor text, it does not hit back to your homepage, but it should take them to another content within your blog on your website. So that's like, pointing from one content to another. That is something considered good because you're giving awesome value to your user. Does that make sense? A review site, still Google looks into it, like Zagat and TripAdvisor. If your website are there, they actually still look into it. And of course, all the social media website. Okay, so when it comes to offsite SEO, you have to consider mainly the link building process and content, right? Because these are all content-based website. So I can, hey Frosty, how you doing? Good to see you. So I can blog weekly basis on my own website. Maybe in 1 month I'm gonna do an ebook. On the second month, maybe I'll do document sharing. Maybe on the 6th month I'm gonna do a PowerPoint. You can just diversify it, keep it all natural and organic. And remember, your mindset shouldn't just focus on link building itself, but your mindset should focus on, I'm gonna provide awesome value in these awesome places so I can get more exposure, and organically people are going to share it and they're going to come to my site. Does that make sense? So later in the future, I can share with you all these resources and how to analyze and look at the link building process, because it's a nature of the search engine crawlers like the Google and the Bing to crawl and go from one page to another. That's why I believe link building still works. In fact, with most of our clients, we're still using on-site SEO, offsite, and they've been getting great results from increasing traffic. And of course, once you get the traffic, focus on the conversion. Make sure that whoever visits the website call you or opt in. Then of course increase the traffic and rank on the the first page. Does that make sense? So y'all can take a snapshot of this before I end the scope. So when it comes to like offsite SEO, this is, as you can see, all these activities are done on a monthly basis. Except for the PR, it could be once, or if you have like a new product, new services, then you can do a PR site. Guest blogging, you don't have to do it every month. You can do it maybe once every 2 months. It depends on where is your niche, who is your good influence in the niche. Does that make sense? You can also do a search for, let's say yoga plus guest blogging, and you can find many websites that will accept guest blogging. But again, be a little bit careful, because some people have used it. They were using it only for link building, but in your situation, use it for putting your content out there. Like for instance, medium.com, it's another blogging platform, so you can do some sort of content right there too, like once a month or so, right? Or maybe LinkedIn, you can do some blogging there as well once a month, but make sure all the content is on your own website. Okay, so there you go, folks. So there you go. This is what I want to share with you about the what you call it, the SEO. This is what offsite SEO is. We give you the definition. It's a link building process. It's an activity that is done outside the website for the purpose of having the search engine behave, get you some targeted traffic, eventually rank you, so you can start taking your business to the next level. Does that make sense? So, but when it comes to how to do it, like I said, it became a little bit difficult right now because of the changes in the algorithm, and Google and the Bing and all the search engine wants to fight spammers. But we've been trying some of this technique with our clients, like like the slide share and the video promotion, and so far it's been working fine. Hey BJ, how you doing? Does that make sense? So again, I just want you to understand what is offsite SEO. Check out the previous scope to look at the definition for SEO, on-site SEO, understand step by step. Hey, how you doing? And until we come right here. So tomorrow, I'll probably talk about keyword research. Okay, again, I want to keep everything simple and basic so you can stick in your head, right? So you understand it 100%, because once you understand it, then it becomes easier for you to implement it. Does that make sense? Google AdWords, that is not SEO, that is search engine marketing. That's a totally different topic. We can talk about that later on in the future. But right now, we want to stick with just SEO. What is SEO? The definition, like I said, go back to my catch.me/yusufchowdhury, and you can check part 1, part 2, part 3. This is part 5, okay? So that we can follow through, because I want you all to really, unfortunately, I don't have a podcast. I help other people to have their own podcast, but it's in the process that I'll make my own pretty soon. Okay? So I want you to all understand it 100%, every single step, every single scope, like understand it 100% so you can move forward. Okay? Because when you understand it, that creates a conviction. Like, what I mean by that, you're going to be convinced. Then once you're convinced, okay, this is how it works, then everything else will become easier for you. because there's so many technical terminologies that I'm trying to simplify it, so it's not going to cause an issue. Because unfortunately, with the SEO community, a lot of us sound like geek, and they tend to forget average people. So the average people have no clue what's going on. So I thought to make it very simple. Use your own kind of layman's terminologies, if that's a sentence. So there you go. Okay. So please go back if you missed it, and if you find value, this has been you're most welcome. Being enjoyed. If you find so much value in this, please click on number 14 right here, and feel free to share it in Twitter and Facebook. Okay. If you have any question, let me know right now. If not, I'll go ahead and end the scope, and I'll get back with you all to continue tomorrow. But if you missed those episodes, go to catch.me/yusufchowdhury. And from there, you can, look at part 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of go through them. You can forward them if it's too long. I think most of them are within 10, 15, 20 minutes. Okay? So we can follow through, because I want all of you understand 100%, so all can be Yusufied certified. Okay? Then you can implement it on your business, or teach others, or do it for others. Okay? Yes. Awesome, Carol. Thank you, Twana. Appreciate you being here. So thank you so much for being very patient. Thank you for the hearts. I hope this was beneficial. If it was, please implement it and share it with others. And if there's no more question, I can go ahead and say goodbye. Cool. Got the info. You are most welcome, Frosty. Okay, folks. Any more questions before I head out? If there's no more question, we'll see you tomorrow then. Thank you. Good night. Around same time, maybe around 8 p.m. Central Time, or maybe 9 p.m. Central Time, or 10 p.m. around those hours. Unfortunately, I don't have an exact time. I do my best to be consistent Monday to Friday. When it comes to timing, unfortunately, forgive me, because I have a lot of projects I'm working on. Catch me photo. Let me show you the Catch Me account one more time, just in case. There you go. That's my Catch Me. There you go. Catch.me/yusufchowdhury. Okay. All right. So there you go, folks. And if you're still awake, make sure you follow Ray Garcia, because he's going to do a scope on how to stay safe. Okay, on Periscope. That's Ray Garcia, or Ray G Creative. So he's going to start probably I don't know, maybe within 10 minutes. So follow him in Periscope, so you can check out his safety scope. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow. You too, Eddie. Good to see you, brother. Really good to see you. I love to see awesome people coming up over and over. Okay. All right. Take care, y'all.